Okay, welcome everyone. Good afternoon. It is Christmas
Good
Eve.
afternoon, everyone.
It's a bit unusual for me to say good afternoon because I'm more used to saying good evening to everyone. So, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes, Merry Christmas indeed. We hope you're having a wonderful festive season, and we hope that you have not had your plans too badly affected by what's going on right now. But we do have a little surprise for you.
Yeah, we thought we could give you some Christmas cheer, and I would like to repeat something that I said on our guest appearance on White Art Collective. A few years back, I was living in a different part of the country, and I got ill, so I couldn't go home for Christmas one year. And at first, I was just moping around, oh my God, I'm going to sit alone on Christmas Eve and everything. And but then I sat down and thought about it, and I could sit there and go into Christmas with a bad mood, thinking that this is going to be a really dreary, lonesome Christmas, or I can make the best Christmas I can in the circumstances. So that really changed the way I saw things, and I'm not saying it's easy, but if you can just try to change your view on how you go into things, it can really make a difference. So I
absolutely,
hope that,
absolutely, it can.
I'm a testament to that. The way you look at things really will make a lot of difference in this. So I hope this little advice on Christmas Eve will benefit some people.
Hopefully, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a lot coming up for you in the new season. Just in case you all didn't know, we are starting again on the 17th of January properly. And the 17th and 24th of January are, well, it might seem quite unusual, but we do think it's appropriate for the sort of winter time of year. They are dedicated to the concept of death, and the 31st of January will be focusing on Imbolc and the sort of spring resurrection. And then we have 7th of February being forests, and then we have the 14th of February Valentine's Day special planned out for the coming year. So hopefully you will all join us for that. We will have some guests too, which is very exciting, very cool to have guests.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to that. And thank you to Celtic Britain for 2 lemons and Besot for a diamond.
Thank you very much.
That is very generous of you, and Merry Christmas to everyone. And AlphaGo over on YouTube, and anyone else watching.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
you very much.
We have Kiss in the house. Yay, you made it.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hi, Kiss.
We are so happy to have you here finally. 14 in chat for Kiss and her daughter that she is expecting.
Congratulations.
Together with Nick, beautiful young white family. So we are really happy for you. Yeah. We decided to have this story going on Christmas Eve because in Norway we we celebrate Christmas Eve on, that's when we celebrate Christmas. That's our big night. So we start with Christmas dinner and then we proceed with presents after that. And, sweets and cookies and everything. So traditionally, Christmas is rung in by the churches at 5 o'clock, which is 20 minutes from now. So, yeah, then Christmas will be officially starting.
Yay!
Yeah.
Official Christmas.
Yeah, it's my favorite time of year. I definitely love it. It's also, I also find it a bit melancholic because the year is ending. So I start to think about what has happened and what I have achieved and what I have not achieved and everything. So, but it's sometimes it still has that somewhat sad air about things because the year is coming to a close, but also the excitement of a brand new year coming along.
Yeah, this is definitely exciting to be going into a new year. Who knows what will happen with 2021? I mean, it's looking kind of daunting. But yeah, we have some nice Christmassy stories right now. Let's not think
Yeah.
about 2021.
Yeah. Seeing Kyle donate an ice cream, that is very kind of you. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. 2021 will definitely be a year to stand up and fight for things. It's not a spectator sport anymore. We have to do things. Thank you for the diamond kiss. That is very kind of you. Offensive username next year. Start a family. Definitely. That is a good plan for a year, for any year.
I mean, yeah, you can't really wait until some sort of opportune time to do these things because there's always something, and we have to carry on,
Yeah, the right time never really arrives, so we have to move along and start our families at any time. And as Kiss just said, our darkest days are behind us, and that is true. I definitely think the powers that be are acting a bit desperate, so I think we will win this.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we
hey, Fearless
have
Bear.
a story?
Yeah, we will. Okay, so our Christmas gift for you, our wonderful audience, is a daily story throughout Christmas. So it won't be a full show tonight or any other night, but we will get on at the same time every day to give you another story. Hopefully you will enjoy that, a bit of cozy time in the afternoon or morning in the United States. Yeah, so today we will start with a Norwegian story written by Alf Prøysen. I did this for our White Art Collective appearance, so some of you might have heard it before, but it is a Christmas Eve story, so I hope you will enjoy it. Okay, the story isn't loading. I have to set that source again, so please excuse me while I fix that one.
Oops.
We do have to have one tech fail, don't we?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of traditional, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Is
Usually
it not?
it's the audio though.
Well, this is audio, so
It is audio.
yeah.
Usually it's like the audio quality, isn't it? Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
It,
okay,
right.
then it's just
Take
about
two.
ready. Take 2. Carpenter Andersen and the Nisse. Written by Alf Preussen. Once upon a time there was a dad named Carpenter Andersen, and he had many children, as dads usually have. And then there was a Christmas Eve when he sneaked out as the wife and kids were cracking nuts to eat Filipina. He was going down to the woodshed, because there a Julenisse outfit was hanging, and on a sled there was a large bag of Christmas gifts. Then Carpenter Andersen dressed up and pulled the sled with the bag out to the courtyard. But this particular night, the courtyard had patches of ice on the ground, so Carpenter Andersen slipped and landed on top of the bag on the sled. There was a hill down to the main road, and the sled started sliding down there with both Andersen and the bag of gifts. Just by the main road a man came walking, and he too was dressed as a Julenisse. "Out of the way!" yelled Carpenter Andersen, and tried to steer clear, but he couldn't see very well behind the Nisse mask, and he ran straight into the other man, so they both fell into the ditch. "I apologize," said Carpenter Andersen. "I apologize as well," said the other. "It seems like we're out on the same errand," said Carpenter Andersen. "You've got the Julenisse outfit on as well," he said and laughed. Then he offered his hand and introduced himself. Carpenter Andersen. "The Julenisse," said the other, and offered his own hand. Yes, you can fool around a bit. It is Christmas Eve, and then it's not so odd," said Carpenter Andersen. "Exactly," said the other. "And if you're thinking what I am thinking right now, then I'll go to your children and give them presents, and then you go to my children and give them presents. But if so, you will have to take off the Nisse outfit." "But, what would I dress like then?" Carpenter Andersen asked. "You don't have to dress up like anything. My children see Nisses all year round. But a real carpenter, now that they have never seen. And every Christmas I say, if you are good now, then Carpenter Andersen will come on Christmas Eve when I travel around with the gifts to all the human children. But then I never crossed paths with you before. Could we trade so my children don't have to sit alone all Christmas Eve?" "Yes, we could do that," said Carpenter Andersen. "But it's only that I don't have any gifts for your children." "Gifts?" the Nisse said. "Aren't you a carpenter?" "Well, yes," said Andersen. "Then just bring some pieces of wood and a few nails. And perhaps you have a knife?" Yes, Carpenter Andersen did have a knife, and he found a few pieces of wood and some nails in the woodshed. "Now you can just follow my footprints into the woods," said the Nisse. "Then I'll take the sled and your bag and knock on the door. You're on the first floor, right?" "Yes," said Carpenter Andersen. And then the Nisse walked up to the carpenter's house, and Carpenter Andersen went into the woods where the Nisse had walked. He didn't have to go far. It was only past 2 spruce trees and a rock and a tree stump. And behind the stump, 3 small Nisse hats were poking up. Here he comes," shouted the Nisse children, and ran ahead towards a tree felled by the wind with its roots up in the air. And when Carpenter Andersen came to the other side of the root, The Nisse wife stood there waiting. "He's here, Mom. Carpenter Andersen is here. Look at him, isn't he tall?" "Now, kids, you make it sound like you've never seen people before," said the Nisse wife. "But we've never seen a real carpenter before," yelled the kids. "Well, come in and be welcome," said the Nisse wife, and lifted a branch. And Carpenter Andersen bent his long back and squeezed past the branch. And then he stood in a little room with a stone floor and tree-root chairs and moss beds with blankets of cranberry heather. In the smallest bed lay a little child, and in the corner sat an old Nisse and nodded. "Have you got your knife? Have you got wooden nails?" The Nisse children bombarded Carpenter Andersen with questions as they dragged him along with them. Now, let Andersen come in the door before you start nagging him," said the Nisse wife. "Sit down, Andersen." "Is there an unknown Nisse here?" piped the old man in the corner. "It is Andersen, the carpenter," yelled the Nisse wife in his ear. "He's so old, Grandpa, he never gets out any more. Go over and say hello, then he will be happy." Andersen went over and greeted the old Nisse and shook his hand. It was like holding bark splinters. "Now sit down, Carpenter Andersen," said the kids. "Do you know what you're making for me?" said the oldest Nisse boy, and smiled with one tooth. "You're making a sled. Could you do that? A toy sled?" "Oh, I can try," said Andersen. And it wasn't long until the sled was finished. "And now it's my turn," said the middle Nisse child. It was a girl who was squirming where she stood, with 2 braids in her hair. "What would you like?" asked Andersen. "A bed for a doll," said the Nisse girl. "Do you have a doll, then?" Andersen asked. "No, but I can borrow the forest mouse's kit sometimes, and I can play with the squirrel kit as much as I want. They love playing house. Make a doll bed, then." And Andersen made a doll bed. "And what do you want?" he asked the youngest Nisse boy, who was shy and had 3 freckles on his nose. "I don't know," the boy whispered. "Oh, he knows. He knew earlier today. Just say it, then," said the other kids. "A spinning top," the little boy whispered. "Oh, then you'll get one," said Andersen, and made a spinning top. "And now you have to make something for Mom," the kids insisted. The Nisse wife had stood and watched the whole time and was hiding something behind her back. "Shush, children," she said. "Just tell me what you would like," said Andersen. "Yes," said the wife, and showed what she was hiding behind her back. It was a porridge ladle, but it was old and splintered, and had a huge crack, so you could definitely not eat soup with it. "Could you repair this, do you think?" Said Andersen, while he scratched himself with the pencil he had behind his ear. "Better make a new one for you." And then he whittled out a nice root he found by the entrance, and made a ladle to the Nisse wife. And when he had done that, he found a straight root with a crook in the top, and sat down to whittle. But he didn't say anything. The kids nagged him, wanting to know what he was making. But Andersen didn't speak a word until he was done, and then the root had become a nice walking stick. "Here we go, Grandad," Andersen yelled, and went over to the old Nisse with the walking stick. And lastly he took all the splinters and made a little bird on light wings that he hung over the bed over the baby Nisse boy. "Oh, this was something," said the Nisse wife. "Thank you very much, Andersen. Say thank you, children. Come here and thank Andersen. Yes, this Christmas Eve we will never forget." "Thank you, thank you, thank you," shouted the kids. Then the old Nisse came tottering over the floor with his new walking stick and said, "Thank you very much." Now Andersen could hear someone outside the door, and then he said, "Well, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year." Then he hurried outside. and there stood the Nisse with the sled and the bag now empty of gifts. "Thank you for your help, Andersen," said the Nisse. "Oh, don't mention it. They were glad for the gifts, and now they are just waiting for you to come home, I would think. How did it go with you? He wasn't scared of you, my youngest boy?" "Oh, far from it," said the Nisse. "He thought it was you, he did. 'Sit on the lap of my daddy,' he said all the time." "Yes, I'd better hurry home," said Andersen, and he said Merry Christmas once more, and then he left. "Can I see your presents then?" he asked his children when he came home. But the kids just laughed. "You've already seen them when you delivered the presents, dressed as a Nisse." "No, I've been with the Nisse children making gifts for them," said Andersen. But the children did not believe that for a second. Then Andersen came over to me one night during the Christmas week and asked me to write a story about it. And that is what I have done. Okay, I have to unmute.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that tends to be, an advantage if people are going to hear me. So yeah, that was one of my favorites as a child, and I hope
It's so cute.
Yeah, it really is.
The Nissa children are waiting for the human carpenter to come and give them presents.
Oh, he's a real carpenter. He's a real carpenter.
Oh,
thank you, Basalt. 2 diamonds. That is very, very generous of you. So yeah, that was the first part of our Christmas gift for you guys. For any newcomers, we will give you a story every day for Christmas. Same time, same place.
Yes.
What is a Nisse? That is a mythological creature from Norway. It's somewhat of a fae, or maybe more like a gnome or something. Yeah. I might actually.
Gnome's probably the closest English equivalent that we have.
Yeah, I would think so. I might actually do a short video on that if people are interested. Some people think they are a family spirit that comes to help out on the farm. They usually helped out on the farm, and in particular with the animals. And you had to treat them kindly, or they would refuse to do the work or cause mischief and everything. So, and in particular, you had to give them porridge on Christmas Eve. That was very important. If you didn't do that, you would not get the help of the Nisse. So it's a benevolent spirit, but not one to be trifled with. And as I also mentioned on Sunday, you might be a bit careful of giving them new clothes, because if the clothes are too fine, then they will consider themselves too posh to actually help do any work. So that's okay. Then I will try to make a Nisse video during Christmas as well.
I'm sure it will be very enlightening indeed for people who maybe are not so familiar with the sort of folk creatures of Norway. Indeed, it's interesting that one has sort of merged with the Christmas gift giver figure and comes down to give out the presents.
Yeah,
that is really unique.
Yeah, we call Father Christmas Julenisse here in Norway. Ah, we just got a new follower. Welcome. I'm
Thank
not
you.
going to try to pronounce your name because I will butcher it completely.
Let's,
But
let's just
welcome
call you
anyway.
Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson is
Let's just call
easier.
you Jackson.
Yeah.
I like how the
Okay.
D-Live money donating things have been Christmasified.
Yeah.
I just noticed that.
Yeah, and they say Merry Christmas on top. So DLive is officially a Christmas streaming platform. So yeah, that was actually a very nice surprise, I think. Everyone goes with happy holidays and everything to be, politically correct and everything. But I will keep Merry Christmas and God Jul until the day I die. So it's good to see
Exactly.
that D-Live does as well. Shadow of the Beast,
And another
welcome. Yeah, I saw you over at
Welcome,
Right
yes.
Meows. I saw you over at Right Meows the other day. So yeah, God Jul. Okay, I will have to get going very soon. My mother
Yes.
decided to have Christmas dinner early this year, which is very typical. So I got a bit less time than I was expecting. But I will do a replay on DLive before the new story every day for anyone who missed it. I will have to do that manually, so I will be present for that. And I will time it so that it will be finished 5 minutes before the new show starts. So I will just get the last things ready for that. So yeah, I guess the only thing that remains is to wish everyone a very happy Christmas. Yeah,
Merry Christmas, yes.
I hope you all will have as best time as possible, and our community is so wonderful. So for those who might be struggling, for those who might be struggling a bit more, I'm sure there will be streams and all of that to look forward to and have a good time with that. So yeah.
Absolutely, there's a whole load of wonderful festive content that's come out from people in our sphere. Some very good Christmas streams. Oh, thank you, Basot. Another diamond.
Oh, thank you. You are very generous tonight. That is very much appreciated.
It's really, really appreciated.
Yeah.
Really appreciated.
Yeah, and I'm so thrilled to finally be able to tell one of my stories to Kiss.
Merry Christmas, sisters. Have a great night, is what the sword says.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. And yeah, I will leave us out with a wonderful version of Silent Night that I found last night. Thank you for the ice cream and lemons of offensive username. Very much appreciated as always.
Yes.
So yeah, since I didn't get to sleep when I was supposed to last night, I managed to find a very beautiful song to leave us out with, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. So yeah,
yes.
Merry Christmas, everyone, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.
Merry Christmas!
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glory stream from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born. Oh, Christ the Savior is born. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild. Sleep